guys, we're about to build this unit now. The thing that I wanted to point out, one, here's the inside of the case. Guys, one of the things I wanted to point out was look at the ridges in the fans. That's attention to detail right there. And the reason why I wanted to talk about that is I think that has something to do with how they make the fans much more quiet than your standard fan. So those are pretty impressive. So that makes me not want to change them to LED in any which way, because I think the quality of these will surpass anything that I put in here. I'll have to light it up another way. Okay, so here's another thing I also wanted to, I'm so amazed with this. This actually is sound dampening material inside the computer case. So this is the back panel. That is very impressive. Two more fan mounts there. Really impressed. Okay, another cool thing I wanted to point out here was the fan control slash also LED control system that's already built into the case. As you can see here, it's got its own unique connector right here that goes down to your standard connector. So that's kind of cool. I'm hoping there's more of those in the box, because that will tell me that I can actually utilize this control unit much better than I hoped. So guys, just quick little trinkets here I wanted to show while I'm getting ready to build this thing, just to show it off a little, and hopefully we have a great build. I got a few cool ideas for lighting this up. I got to go through them and see if it can be executed. Hi everybody, and welcome back to my review of the BeQuiet Dark 900 Rev2. My overall thoughts on this product, definitely build quality is absolutely there. I gotta give it to these guys. I've been building computers and building different numerous computer cases, from $10,000 builds to $5,000 builds and whatever. And I can tell you that sometimes price means nothing when it comes to a $500 case versus a $100 case if the bells and whistles are where you want it. Now, that's always not true. And in the case of BeQuiet at $300, this case is worth the money. Now, it all comes down to what you're looking for as well. If you want to light your whole front end up and you're trying to build a gaming computer that's designed to be more show than go, then this is probably not the case for you. But if you're looking for quality, quiet, performance, build quality, then you want to look this case over. This case was a fun build, except for the shroud. I found the shroud to be a bit of a pain in the butt. But as finicky as it was, after about 20 minutes, I got everything the way I wanted it, and everything was fine. Overlooking that, I had no other issues with the build. In fact, I cannot find another computer case where you can alter it in any which form or factor that you're looking for. If I wanted the glass on the other side and I wanted to flip the whole entire cage, I can do so. That is unbelievable. If I want to flip it upside down, I can do so. So the build ability and the mod ability of this case is unprecedented. There isn't another case that I know of or that I've ever used that can do what this case does. And that alone lets me tell you that the quality and the build performance and thought was put into this product. Now, the overall sound, it is BeQuiet. And it is. I gotta say that this product is super, super quiet. The fans, the tech that's in the fans, the way the grooves are in the fans, the thickness of the fans, that is definitely a sound dampening product right there. That is one key thing. I have all my fans turned on max, and I'm still hardly hearing this thing. So I'm pretty impressed with that. So it is now my my office. This is where I do my editing. This is where I do most of my filming. This is where a lot of stuff is done, and I rely on the best possible ambience and sound going on in this room to the best that I can do with it. This case is going to help me huge. You probably don't even hear it in the background, and I'd be shocked if you did. It is very quiet. It has sound dampening panels on the back panel and the door, and of course tempered glass is a sound barrier all on its own. So I have to say everything around it has been rubber grommeted. So the screws go in with rubber grommets. There's rubber grommets around the areas where the glass goes on, which you would expect actually from any glass, tempered glass product, or some sort of a plastic ring. This one has rubber with the plastic ring. So that just helps with the sound much more. One thing that is key on this product, if it's customizable, yeah, I can add an optical drive. I have a Asus DVD Blu-ray burner in here, and I actually have a StarTech hot swap hard drive bay for another solid state. So when I want to go and bring it over to my buddies, or wherever I'm going to do some video, maybe I'm going to do an interview, I need to back up my camera, I can take the hot swap out from StarTech, put all my data on it. It's USB 3 when it's out of the hot swap. It's just unbelievable. The added features in the front panel. So now you have USB-C. You have 3 USB 3.0s on the front. You have your power button, and you have a hard drive indicator. And then there's another button that allows you to change the colors of your product. If I go up here and I press, I start changing the colors of my computer without having to go to my motherboard. So there's brightness controls, there's a dimming and back in and so on like that, pulsing. There's that nice white light. You want to light your computer really up. And there's your bright light. And here's where I like to keep it. I know you've seen many videos out there on the BeQuiet Dark 900 V2, and a lot of it could be, you know, people who build computers or people who just happen to build computers. I've been into building computers for over 30 years. Yeah, I'm old. Very old. And back in the day, I used only Silverstone, Cooler Master, brushed aluminum cases. The odd time I would use Thermaltake. And the build quality was unsurpassed for its time. Today, I've built with some Cooler Masters and this, that, whatever, and don't get me wrong, they still have some pretty good cases. But personally, I went to the AZA series for my personal line of cases. And the reason for that was, one, price. Price was really done well on the AZA computer cases. Not only that, you got a lot of bells and whistles for that product. But if I have to compare, that was a very good unit. For the $100 or $150 that you can get an AZA Thor for, and don't get me wrong, my Thor is still out in my game room now because it's now my game room computer. It was a very good case. I actually loved the look, design, and feel of it. But after building this, I fell in love with it. I didn't think I would because the Thor is really cool looking and it's got all the sharp corners and that Tron-like light going down through it. It just looked badass. But when you get down to it and you build this, just the fit finish versus the Thor, just that finish, the feel, the quality, you know that you're playing with a deep thought product, a product that someone's taken time to endorse, a product that someone's taken time to put love and show into. And for that, I have to applaud them. They built a case that would be great in the server world if you're building a server tower. They built a case that's great for the average, you know, high-end builder. And they also built a case, in my opinion, for the gamer or the video editor like I am. This is also my gaming machine, my main gaming machine. My main gaming is done in here. Another thing that I found really interesting about this case, I was running about, I would say 38 degrees idle on my ASA. I don't know if it's the air movement, I guess, versus this. But here on idle, I'm running 30, pushed 31, 32, and really pushed, I was hitting about 38, 39. So temperature-wise, I found this thing to really do a decent job. Not saying it's the best job out there, but I definitely found it to do a decent job. On top of that, I changed my cooler to a deep cool RGB fan, which is actually known to not be as good as the Cooler Master 212. But my end result, changing the case, I actually got a cooler result out of my overall build. So for that, the air movement must be pretty good. A lot of people were complaining about the door, but you do have your venting here, and you can feel the air moving through that. Or, if you want, you can leave your door open ajar. No big deal if you want to bring in that much more air. But I do state, with the door closed, I'm moving enough air, I can feel it going through the vents, that it would not be an issue whatsoever. And let's face it, a lot of high-end cases, whether they're a door in the front or whatever, most of them are glass now. There is no venting, there is no proper movement of air, but there's fans behind it. So in this case, this would do a better job, in my opinion, than, let's say, a case with a full-on glass front panel with no venting. So overall, I think it's just a redundant thought that is null and void in the case war. The modular capability and the hard drive capability. You will run out of motherboard capabilities for hard drive in this system. I don't care what board you have. This thing can pile in the hard drives. Whether it be SSDs or actual hard drives, you're putting in well over 10. Nobody's doing that. I actually have 2.5, actually just over 2.5 terabyte of solid state in this machine right now. So I'm sporting underneath the video card a M.2 1 gigabit or gigabyte, sorry, 1 terabyte. I'll get it right. And then I have a 512 M.2 which is lit up, and I have two Samsung Evos in the back, 512s, and then I have my pullout, which is a 128 for portability. So overall, I'm not worried about hard drive space, especially on a machine that's mostly used for YouTube video editing for you guys, and the odd gaming. The cons of this case were, absolutely there were some, and that was the shroud. The shroud definitely was a con. I did find a lot of people were saying that there was a lot of space in the back. Well, yeah, there's a lot of space in the back to put your wiring if you're not adding CD-ROM drives, you're not adding pull-out drives, if you're doing your regular solid-state hookups and there's no optical drive and so on, tons of space. If you're adding a bunch of other add-ons where there's a lot more wiring going on, it's a little more finicky to run it, but it can be done and there is space to do so. I just found that if I had to put it up against my ASA, the ASA had a little more area to hide wires. Other than that though, those are my two cons. Everything else has been positive. So guys, if you have this case or you're thinking about buying this case, definitely check it out. It's definitely a case for extreme use. It is a great case. It's a case that can be used for a very long time, and it says, "Hi, I'm high-end." Now the other gimmick, I guess we'll call it a gimmick, was the charger on the top of the thing. So when I lay my phone up there, it will charge. It's really cool and all, and I do actually have one. I don't know if you can see this in the video, right here. There you go. So I've been accustomed to using the one here on my desk. It's in my opinion much easier, and to feel my phone going up here and charging just seems kind of odd. If your case was on the floor, I could see you using that all the time. It is a great feature. I do not knock the feature whatsoever. I just think it's a feature that is kind of out of the way. Other than that though, I give the case 2 thumbs up. I'm very proud to have this case, and I just want to make it clear that I had my own say and my own rights to what I wanted to say about this case. I am not endorsed by this in any which way or form. I'm just telling you my thoughts as a computer builder. I recommend the BeQuiet Dark 900 V2. Right now there's a price drop. I think Canadian it's $295 at Canada Computers, I believe. I will link a link to that on the video, and I will try and find a good link for an American price for you as well. But definitely a fun case to build with, definitely a fun case to try and mod. I would like to see someone else build one and try and outdo what I did, just because I want to see someone do something else cool with this case. There's so much potential, there's so much room that you can do just about anything. So guys, till next time, I hope you enjoyed this review, or at least my thoughts on the BeQuiet Dark 900 Rev2. Game over.